So my phone just made a really weird noise, and I'm worried it wasn't recording all this time. So, that being the case, let me review real quick what we've done. We have made 4 base pages that are 8 by 8. And if you don't know how to make a base page, I have a video on how to do that. Hi everyone, so I think I just recorded an intro. I'm not sure. In any event, when I was recording this, I discovered that it didn't record for a little while. And I went ahead, I recorded a new intro, but I had already made the base pages. So I want to go ahead and make a base page with you so that you don't have to watch another video to see how to do it. So these are in your cutting guide. They're 8 by 8.5. You'll need 2 of them for 1 page, so you'll need a total of 8 to make the 4 pages. So put the 8.5 side across the top of your scoreboard and score at a 1/2 inch for both. Going to tape. Got all kinds of stuff stuck to my tape here. Inside that tab that you just made, you're going to do this on all 8 pieces. Up a little as I was putting it down. That was 3/8 inch score tape. You could use glue if you prefer. I use art glitter glue, that's the glue that I use, but this is score tape obviously. And then you want to trim your corners up to but not past that score line. Then you want to fold the tab so that the tape is on the outside of the fold, like that. It's not my favorite bone folder. I like this one better. I definitely recommend that you use a silicone bone folder like this, or like this, either one. The others tend to mark your paper, I feel like. It's just my opinion. Use whatever you like. Okay, so you're going to put these so that the folded tab is to the inside, okay? Just peel back a little tape. I'm going to line up these 2 corners. So you've got this folded tab at the bottom, this one at the top. I have to pick it up so I can see it. So I just line up that corner. And then you see how they're not lined up here, so you just want to bring them up together so they're lined up. And remove the rest of the tape. And go ahead and burnish that. And you're just going to turn it around. And at this point, it should pretty well fall into the correct spot. And there you go. That's your base page. And you need 4 of those. Okay. All right. We're going to resume. And they are brown. And actually, I should even record a whole new intro. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, I hope that all recorded. But just in case it didn't, welcome to a new project. This is Memories of a Snowy Day from Ciao Bella. It is a design project for Scrap and Create. I have 2 12 by 12s, 2 8 by 8s. No, I have 1 12 by 12, 2 8 by 8s, and 1 12 by 12 backgrounds, as well as a rice paper, which is this rice paper. And I am using a dark brown for the background, but you could use black if you want, whatever you like. And again, I've made 4 8 by 8 background pages. So we got that far. And then for page 1, we have cut out a piece, 7 1/4 by 6 1/2, scored on the 7 1/4 at half and half, and then one of the other sides to make a pocket. And we have a 4 1/4 by 6 3/4 scored at one end to make a flap. And then I just did this, matted this page. It's just one of the base pages. This piece came from, hang on, and since I only have one 12 by 12, I can't show it to you on the 12 by 12, but it was an 8 by, it's also on the 8 by 8, so hang on. Right, it's here somewhere. There it is, okay. All right, so on the 12 by 12, I cut a piece 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 from this corner. That's this, because I used the back side. So that's that. And right now I'm fussy cutting this piece that was left. And that's where we ended up. Hopefully you will get to see all that, but just in case, that's where we're at. Okay, let me finish, you can see. Let me finish fussy cutting. Okay, and I did ink this with walnut stain, so I'm just gonna hit up this fussy cut with the same. Not too much, just a little. All right, so this is going up in this corner here. And quite a bit of it is not actually gonna be visible. It's gonna be under there. That is gonna go down there. And then that is gonna go on there. Okay, like that. I know, I almost hate to lose all that, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. Now I'm paranoid, I hope you're recording. One of these days I need to get a camera. I'm gonna just record on my phone, and my phone is ancient, so sometimes it doesn't cooperate. That as far over as I can. Go with that straighter. There we go. So everybody watch the ads. Think about maybe becoming a patron on Patreon. Maybe this year we can get a camera. I just get so frustrated when it doesn't record. Okay, pretty. You could stop right there if you want. Oh, it's raining. I hope you can not hear it too much. All right, so now we have our pocket and our flap. So let's pick out for those. The flap itself is sized for 4 by 6 photos, so it doesn't need to be too fancy. The only thing is, if it's not too fancy, it's basically the first thing you see, so it's kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Catch-22. We could almost use that piece there, and that would echo that. Maybe. I might run into them if I did. It needs to be 6 1/8. By 4 1/8. Yeah, I would have like his head if I tried that. Okay, so we're not going to do that. That is very pretty, so that's a possibility. I think I might want to use that as a full background though. They are adorable. They don't quite fit there. And he's going the wrong way. Swan. Just trying to be ready for lunch. Because we still have to do the pocket. I like the way that looks, but I hate losing them. They could go on the front of the pocket, which would be very sweet. The only thing is then you'd see like his tail hanging down, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see. Maybe this for the front of the pocket? Yes, I like that a lot, because then we can get this whole sort of scene. Okay, so if we do that for the front of the pocket, we're making progress here. And let's see. I'm wondering, it's not quite tall enough. I was just wondering if instead of making that a side, we could do that a vertical and have this bench. I think I'll save that for another place. All right, let me cut this so we have a good idea of what this is going to look like. So this should be 6 1/4 by 6. Okay, so I need a piece 6 1/8 by 5 7/8. That is so pretty. Okay, and let's go ahead and ink this. That's going to go like that. That's really pretty. And then this is going to be on top. And open like that. I'm wondering, I'm tempted to leave that flap off and just do the pocket, because I just love the way that looks. And then maybe just do the flap in another spot. That's what I'm going to do, because I think that looks really nice. So let's save this flap. And when you get to your cutting guide, you'll be looking at it wondering, why is there a flap? There's no flap on that page. But that's okay. I am actually happy with that. You could add that flap if you want, if you feel like you want it. Okay. Did I put that on? No, I did. I put this on wrong. There's no way I'm gonna get that off. It's glued. Okay, how am I gonna fix that? Okay. Be careful when you're putting yours together. Make sure your openings are on the sides, but I have a fix. Okay, hang on. Okay, I just cut it off, and I'm going to put it on one of my other bases, and we will go from there. Now, if I had had two 12 by 12s, I would have just started over, replaced it, been done with it, but I don't have two. That's the only one I had. So, see, that's what I get because I haven't done anything in a while. And that's going to be just fine. I'll make for a bit of a stiff page, but that's okay. Could almost make a pocket out of it, but I'm not going to. I'm not pushing my luck. Remember, there are very few mistakes that you cannot fix somehow. So I need to think outside the box. Sheepers. Okay, didn't record. Made my page upside down or sideways or whatever it was I did. I might need to just stop for the day. Good heavens. Oh well, at least you guys get to see that mistakes can be fixed. Most. There's very few you can't fix. Well, I should have probably inked that, but that's okay. I need to get some more glue up under there. Okay, and the text is sideways, but that's fine. Most of it's going to be covered up, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, there. Now that is going to go there. I don't even know what that was. What was it? Now we want the bottom little gusset, flap, tab, whatever you want to call it, to be on top. So we're going to put that up. And like that. And I'm just getting an eyeball of about where I want it. Okay. I'm just leaving about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a hair less, of the mat visible to the right and on the bottom. Okay, and then we just need to get that last bit. Okay, well that was a bit of an adventure to make a very simple page. Okay, I love it though. It's really pretty. Okay, Or I'm gonna need to make myself another base, don't wanna forget. Now, thinking, okay, so this is gonna be there and then there. Maybe something else with city on it. That's pretty. Of course, we have to decide what we're actually going to do for the page. Oh, these swans. Okay, let me get some pieces and then we'll figure out the mats. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I did check, and the beginning of the video did not record. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you were able to catch up. Okay, so where we are at, we just finished that, turn it over. We're gonna have a pocket here. We're gonna do a fussy cut pocket with this. This is from the 12 by 12. And this had this, so I couldn't just cut it straight across because I would have either lost some of this or lost some of that. So I just sort of cut, so I had all the tops of my buildings, and I cut it right at the base of the buildings. And what I need, this pocket is going to need a mat 7 7/8 wide, give or take. It could be a little shorter. So what I'm going to do is see where that puts me. I think right between this red and this green building, I think I can cut. And that will give me these 3 buildings that I could use on the same page elsewhere. If I cut from this direction, it puts me right in the middle of this building. So I've got to cut from this one. So what I'm going to do is cut right up against the edge of this building. And then I'm going to cut right between this red and this green building. Okay? Okay, so that leaves me these little buildings. And then I have, whoops, this. And that looks really good, just where I want it. Did I give you the measurements on this pocket? I don't think I did. It's 9 by 4 3/4, score at a half, half, and half, okay? And let me go ahead and cut my corners out. I'm only cutting the bottom corners because the top are going to be cut as part of the pocket. If you'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. Get this out of the way, and we are going to ink. I'm only inking the bottom and the sides because we're going to be cutting the top away. Okay, good, and then we're going to put this down. Sorry, I'm just picking it up so I can see it. Make sure I've got it somewhat straight. I think I'm going to lose a tiny bit off the top of those. I could have made this pocket a little taller, but I don't mind. When I fussy cut them, they'll be alright. They don't really even need to be on the background, so. There. Okay. Now, we are going to take our scissors, come up at an angle towards that first little edge of the building, and I'm just going to fussy cut all along here. Okay, so I'm at the end, and I'm just going to cut at an angle that way. Okay, now I have this one little red chimney here, and I haven't decided if I'm going to cut around that or not, or cut it off. I think I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to cut around it. Okay, there we go. That looks good. And let's go ahead and fold in our sides to make sure they don't need to be trimmed anymore, and they look fine. So let's go ahead and give this a bit of an ink along that top edge. Just be a little careful, you got a lot of things sticking out. There we go. And where's our page? Here it is. Okay, so that's that way. So this is going to go down here at the bottom. Really nice. And I'm just going to turn it upside down so I can line up this corner here. There. And there. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then we need a mat for inside. And we have several sort of sky type. I think that's a little dramatic. Looks like the city's on fire. Let's see like that. That might look, I mean, we have, if I didn't have two 8x8s, I wouldn't be thinking of doing this, but I do have two 8x8s. And I think if we do that, it will look a little bit like, just add some depth, like we're looking down the street at these other houses. I think that would be really cool. Let me just trim a hair off the side so I can actually put it in there and we'll see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I really like that a lot. Perfect. Okay, so let me just cut this down to size. And let's see. Let me put it back in there, get a measurement. So I need one about 5.5 would do. 5.5 to 6 by 7 7/8. I have no idea what that weird noise is. Somebody's working on their car outside? I have no idea. I think I want a little bit more of those buildings showing. I'm going to take about a 1/2 inch off the top. Maybe a little less. Maybe a 1/4 inch off the top. Okay, let's see. How's that? Good. Like that a lot. All right. Okay. like that. Okay, so after an adventurous start, we got that first couple of pages done. My watch is telling me it's time to stand up. So I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to get all the stuff for the next page, and I will be right back. All right, so for the next page, I've already put down the mat. Again, there's your openings, and this is from the 8x8, and I cut this down to 7 7/8 by 7 7/8, and I cut it from the top and the side and this side to get it. Okay. Now we're going to take from our second 8x8 sheet. This is an album with a lot of fussy cutting, and we are going to cut just this image, and I'm not going to fussy cut it super close because it's the exact same image, and if we place it correctly it should all just sort of blend together, so you won't need it to be cut super close to these little squirrels. But I'm going to start about here and just cut like that, okay? Just like that. Okay, save that. Let's see, how does that look? That looks really good. And I'm going to ink this outer edge, but not here because I want it to blend into the background. And we are just going to put this right down here as a tuck spot. Okay. So we're just going to put a little glue down the, whoa, a little glue, not that much glue, on the straight edges. I'm just going to push that out since I put so much glue. You're going to line that up with the mat that you've previously put down. So here we have a very easy little page. Just like that. Cute. Okay. So super easy, right? And that, I chose that one. I did it off camera so you didn't see, but I wanted to sort of replicate. We had night here. I liked going into this night city here, but I didn't want to lose these squirrels. So this way we have the squirrels, but we also have an element, if that makes sense. You know, so now we can use those as a little corner pocket tuck spot. Super cute. Okay. There. Okay, let me grab the next stuff and we will keep going. Right, I've got pieces. And there we go. Got lots of pieces. Lots of pieces. Okay, so that was our page we just did. Set this aside. And we've got several pockets, so I figured we better do some flaps, but we're also going to do pockets. So this is going to be the base mat from the 8x8. I'm not putting that down yet, though. And then I have that aside. Okay, and then I have a flap. Okay. And the flap's going to open this way, and there'll be a pocket with a flap inside. Oops, pocket flap. So like that. And then on the outside, we're going to have an envelope that opens like that. Okay, so we have quite a bit going on here. So I think the first thing that I want to do, this is this flap. I think that's actually the pocket flap. That is the pocket flap. This is the main flap. Okay. Alright, so that's that. That's the pocket flap. This is the pocket. All these measurements are going to be in the cutting guide, but I can give them to you. This is 8 by 6.5. This is 5.5 by 8. This is 4 by 9. And then there's another piece for the envelope, which I'll give you in a moment. So let me cut corners here. this is the main flap, and it is going to go on, okay, on the left side. Okay. And what I think I'm going to do is, I did order some magnets, so I have magnets. I have plenty of magnets, but I think I am going to close this with a ribbon, a seam binding. White. Oops. Probably should have used sharp scissors for that. And I think I want to put this down first. This is way longer than I need. So this is going to run underneath the mat and underneath there. This is so much longer than I need. Okay, hang on. So let's, where's my tape? What did I do? There it is. Okay. And I'm just lining this up with the lines on my board. It is 8 inches tall. So I'm just lining that up about with the 4-inch mark. You don't have to be 100% precise, but you don't want it too far off either. And then I am just gonna center that there. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, now this piece is going to go here. And I wonder if I want to go ahead and put the pocket in first. I think I will. Okay, so the pocket is going to go, let me move this over. The pocket's going down here. Okay. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Ugh, so much stuff. So here's our pocket. Make sure that's checking that for fit. I can't decide if it's too big or if it's okay. Look, it's just the tiniest hair big. I'm just giving that a little tug. It's not enough to rescore it, but it is enough that I want it just a little bit narrower. Okay, that should do it now. Oops. Alright, so I'm going to put this down here, and I'm not going to put it right up against the fold because this does have to come over and close. So I'm just going to put it maybe 1/16 of an inch in from that fold line. Good. Okay. And then this flap is going to go here. And because when this opens, it's going to be like this. It's going to open like this. I don't want this to flop, so this will have a magnet. And I just, while I was on a break between doing these 2 pages, I ordered more magnets, like I said, so we'll have enough. I usually use a lot, but maybe I'll see if I can limit a little bit. Maybe not use quite so many. That's good. Okay, so that's going to open like that. That's going to be there. So we need magnets there. So I'll get those. Oh, you know what? No, those are, I was going to say, I have a whole package of magnets, but they're not. A long time ago, I accidentally ordered the wrong size magnets. I've never thrown them out because, you know, I paid money for them, but I have no idea when I'll actually use them because they're way too fat for what I do, but I may have a craft I want to do someday where they'll work. Okay. And we may end up rounding those corners or something. So I'm just going to put one magnet there. And I have some sort of scrap here. Look, see that? My cat ate that. Used to be a useful piece, but not anymore. The other night she figured out how to pull the stopper out of the sink. I heard this banging in the bathroom. I'm like, what is she doing? I thought she was knocking over like all my cosmetics and facial care stuff and all that stuff. Skincare. And I went in there and she was pulling the stopper out of the sink. There is that. Okay, so let's get this piece down. And again, let's make sure everything is right side up. It's going over here. So it's going to go there. I didn't get that pocket in quite as neatly as I might have, but it's okay. Make sure I'm not catching anything, and that's nice and straight. Okay, so there's that. Okay, oh, look at that. That's terrible. Can I fix it? No. That was just what I was trying to avoid. Okay. Good thing I still have some undo. I don't think I need to undo the whole thing. Let's see if we can just undo that little area right there. That straightened out. Okay, there we go. Let that dry. Okay. It's going to take a minute to be dry enough to stick. Okay, and while that's doing, okay, so this is going to be here. That. I don't want to rush it. It needs to dry. Okay. All right. And I think I'm going to, because I do have that extra layer in there, put some glue under there. Whoops. None of that's going to be visible because of my mat. Okay. That's better. Okay, now let's put this down. And this is from the 8x8. Good. Okay. Right, so that's going to go like that. Whoops. Oh yeah, that's not going to stay down until it's tied. Duh. But that's going to be tied. Okay, and then this is going to go here. But before we do that, I want to put our envelope down. I have to make the envelope. So I'm going to put that to the side. The envelope I'm going to make using my envelope punch board. I highly recommend. I use this in pretty much almost every single album I make. Let's see. So I've got a 4x6, so I cut this 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, and this is from the pattern sheet. And according to this, I take my 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 and put it at the 3 and does that say 3/8? Yes, 3 3/8. So you just put that in, bring the edge to 3 3/8. Oops. Done. 3 3/8 and score. And punch. And then you rotate, line up the line you just scored with this point. Score. And punch. And you could just leave this piece off or use a commercial envelope or just make a flap if you don't want to get one of these punch boards, or you can just try and measure it if you want. Okay. There. Okay. And I need to leave that out for a second. Okay, so for these, now you can put these side pieces either to the outside or the inside. It is 100% up to you. I usually put them on the inside. I like it, it just looks neater. And I'm just deciding which side I like for the flap. I think I like this to be the upper flap. Yeah, okay. So for the one that's going to be the main flap, you just put it in the back and punch. Okay. And then the other thing that I want to do is I do not like this extra point. So I just line up my ruler there, draw a line, and then cut. Okay. And I think I need to cut, well, I'm going to ink it, so it doesn't really matter. I was going to say I left a little pencil line, but I'm going to ink, so I don't think it matters. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink. Okay, so those go in, and that goes there, and then this is going to be held closed with that ribbon, that same ribbon, so we don't need any glue or anything, or magnet. Okay, let's bring this back, and I am going to, this is going to go like that underneath this mat, and then this swan is going to go on the front. This is from the 12 by 12 cut apart. So the next thing that has to happen is this envelope is going to get glued down here. I don't know why I fussed over which one of these was going to be the point. I forgot I was going to be gluing it underneath the mat anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue here. Okay. And we're going to line this up. Centered. top to bottom. I'm eyeballing and put it right along the edge. Okay, and then we're going to put this one here. And this is from the patterns, the 12 by 12 patterns. Did I ink that? Yes. I just love these little squirrels. I think we're going to be using them a bit in this collection. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then this is going to go centered right on the front of that envelope. Saw that going, but I didn't want to stop gluing. Okay. Okay. And then this is definitely going to have to be trimmed. It's gigantic. Tie this near the edge of the envelope, I think would be the best bet, which is almost in the center. Actually, I think it's exactly in the center. Okay, and I need scissors. So I cut these far longer than I needed to. Actually, do I want to leave it like that? They're definitely too big. Okay, we'll leave it like that for now. Cute. Okay. So now we have one. Close that before I put a page right in it. I've done that before. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Good stopping place. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is a project for Scrap and Create. You can get all your supplies there. I will have a link down below. There will be a link down below for the cutting guide for this project, as well as links to some of the products that I use, my Patreon link, all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and we'll keep going with this project. Bye-bye.